Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
This is a catastrophe.
You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
That's what I wished for when I blew out my candle.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
The floor is yours.
Welcome in! Hunt Palmer coming to you from the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this Wednesday. About half the work week in the rearview mirror. Brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. Got Jordan Kitchens, Cassie Spazzali back there on the ones and twos. And we got plenty for you here on this Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. We're going to get into some Ole Miss discussion. That's where we are in our LSU schedule. Do three things on the Revel in hour number 2. Sharif Ishak is at Saints OTAs today. He will have watched. It's actually Minicamp. I switch those constantly. He's at Saints Minicamp today, which is not optional. It's mandatory. He was there watching practice. He'll be asking some questions in the locker room, and then we'll talk to Sharif at 2:30. He's usually with us on Tuesdays. Could not join us yesterday because of Cam Jordan. We'll talk about that in 15 minutes, but lots of Saints content today. College World Series, 4 teams are left. We'll talk about that at the end of hour number 1. It's What If Wednesday. If you got what ifs, fire them away in the Bayou Ford chat on YouTube as well as our text line. That's 225-499-1045. So lots and lots to get to. Let's crank it up with our opening drive.
Welcome to the big league.
It's time for Hunt's Opening Drive. Presented by Fabry Chevrolet GMC in St. Francisville.
You know, you kind of looked up in mid-December at this LSU football roster, and you could have gone, you know, they're a little bit short on running backs in Baton Rouge, because you realize you're looking at a backfield that was really headlined by Caden Durham and Harlem Berry. And you look up and you realize that Caleb Jackson's moving on, and then Frank Wilson moves on, and you know how much Harlem Berry and Frank Wilson, how much history is between those two. Caden Durham kind of lost his job last year, and so you're looking at this going, well, I mean, I could see a world where those two guys, maybe Keywan Lacey comes, and that'd be awesome because LSU got Lane Kiffin, and maybe Lacey comes, and you're hearing the video of Lane Kiffin in the car saying, ha, no, Keywan Lacey and Kevin Smith are coming. But, like, there was some uncertainty, and you're looking at the running back depth going, this doesn't look right. Well, you can go ahead and put those concerns in the rearview mirror because LSU may not have a Heisman Trophy winner at running back. They might not. They may have a first-team All-SEC back. They might not. They may finish first in the SEC in rushing. They may finish 14th. I don't know what the results will be, but depth is not a problem anymore as Kevin Smith is running the show over there. Not only do they retain Harlem Berry, they retained Caden Durham, then went out in the transfer portal and grabbed Dylan Jones, who was running with the ones. He's an impact guy. They go get Rod Gainey from Charlotte. They go get Stacey Gage from UCF. They get Racine Guillory from Utah. And I'm looking up in spring ball, and you've got 6 scholarship running backs, not one of them a senior. And Harlem Berry is a sophomore, and Dylan Jones is a sophomore, and Rod Gainey is a sophomore, and Stacey Gage is a sophomore, and Racine Guillory is a freshman. That's entering this coming season. So you've got 6 backs, and only one of them is eligible to move on to professional football next year. Now, I'm not naive enough to know that that's a group that's just going to stick together for 3 years, but you've got the numbers on this roster. And then you turn your attention to the high school class, where LSU did not sign a tailback in last year's high school class, and you go, well, I guess it's time to dip into that as well. And 10 days ago, LSU reeled in Brennan Lacey, who's a 3-star back, 33rd in the country, 5'11", 190 from Texas. And then yesterday, Trey Segarra pledges to LSU, 4-star back, number 7 overall back in the nation, according to On3 and Rivals. He's 5'10", 210. And then today, you go into the backyard, you go to Franklin Parish, and you pick up Trey Martin, 6 feet, 201, 4-star back, number 11 in the country, the number 7 player in the state of Louisiana. If I play the hypothetical game and Caden Durham plays for LSU as a senior, it is a hypothetical. It's not assured. It's certainly possible. I'm looking at 9 running backs. I think those numbers will do. So in a very, very short amount of time, LSU has gone out and very much restocked the shelves. It was a depleted position. It reminded me, as I was looking at this earlier today, of that line in Forrest Gump when he gets all the money towards the end, and he says in the monologue, told us we invest in some fruit company, so we didn't have to worry about money anymore. It's when they invest in Apple. I said, well, good. It's one less thing. And I'm kind of looking at running back going, well, I guess we don't have to worry about running back anymore. Good. That's one less thing. On an ever-evolving roster that's constantly turning players over at positions time and time and time again, they got running back stocked. I can't promise you who's great on this roster, who's going to transfer after this football season. I can promise you that multiple guys on this list of 9, whether it's the kids that committed in the high school class or the players that are on this roster this season, multiple of those 9 will not be part of LSU's football program by Christmas. We can all agree on that, but that's okay. That's at every position. But Kevin Smith has come in and identified players that he feels comfortable with and brought them into the fold, whether that's on this team or in this high school commitment class currently. They have made their pitch, and they have brought guys in that clearly are not afraid of competition. That's obvious. Caden Durham could have bolted. I'm sure Frank Wilson would have taken him at Ole Miss. Harlan Berry could have bolted. I know they would have taken him at Ole Miss. Those guys would have had offers from SEC schools immediately had they jumped in the portal. They stuck around, and with those 2 guys who were the top 2 backs basically on last year's team, and then Durham was the leading rusher 2 years ago, you were still able to go to the portal and bring 4 guys in that had options. Dylan Jones was a top 10 running back in the country coming out of high school. He goes to Wisconsin, redshirts a year, plays a year. Now he comes in. He knew all these guys were here. Didn't bother him. He came in, wanted to play. And he is. And so I trust Kevin Smith implicitly to develop backs, because you look at what he did at Ole Miss, and it's easy to look at Quinshawn Judkins as the all-SEC back, as the All-American from Ole Miss, as the guy who went to Ohio State and was part of a championship team and is a really, really, really good back. It's easy to look at him now. He was not that when he showed up as a freshman at Ole Miss. Part of that was Kevin Smith's identification. Part of that was the development. And part of that is him being a damn good football player. But it wasn't just a Quinshawn Judkins thing. Now, he moved on and they struggled to run the ball the following season, but Kejuan Lacey was sitting a bench at Missouri. He wasn't a superstar. And Kevin Smith and Lane Kiffin looked at him and go, yeah, that'll work. And he became, you could argue, the best back in the country at the end of last year. Now, there were some really good ones. I'm not going to stake that claim that he certainly was, but he was certainly in the discussion. So I'm not here to give a scouting report on Brennan Lacey from Frisco, Texas, and tell you what he's going to be. I'm not here to tell you why Trey Segarra is awesome. I can tell you that he's big, he's physical, he plays soccer, and he's fast. And I know that Trey Martin has been an incredibly productive Louisiana tailback, and LSU has taken incredibly productive Louisiana tailbacks in the past, and it's been really successful. Last week, I routed off 20 dudes from the state of Louisiana from 2000 and now that have been great backs at LSU. Some of them were 5 stars, top 5 in the country. Some of them were 4 stars. Some of them were 3 stars. Some of them had great pro careers. Some of them didn't play pro football. But Louisiana backs have been really good. Trey Martin is the best back in Louisiana in this class. LSU went and got him. And you've adequately created depth. And we know that Harlan Berry and Caden Durham can carry the mail in the SEC. They've done it before. So this was a position. It's kind of hard to think about now because things happen so quickly and there's a lot of names involved and we're all on to Clemson. Nobody's really thinking about December of last year. But I do recall sitting here in December going, if Durham and Berry transfer, they don't have a running back. I'm sure they'll get one, and hopefully it's Lacey, but you need 5, and they might not have any. And now you look up and I'm counting 9. Now again, those 9 will not be together. There will be defections either in the class or from the roster in 2026. But starting with 9, a pretty good way to get to 5 or 6, right? So this is a positive for LSU. These are guys that are highly rated. You're talking about 2 of the top 11 backs in the country, according to On3. We know that Harlan Berry was the number 1 back, according to On3. We know that Caden Durham is a really good player, and I believe, as I said, all spring long, and I will stand by this, and I'll talk about this in August. I'll talk about it in July at SEC Media Days. I'll talk about it the Friday of the Clemson game. I'll talk about it. Dylan Jones is going to play, and he's good. So I like where LSU is from a running back perspective. Today was another good day. I just think it's a good day to go get a Louisiana prospect, even in a very, very crowded room, to be part of your class. I don't want Ole Miss coming in and getting that guy. I don't want Florida coming in and getting that guy. John Summerall spent time in Louisiana. He's going to recruit Louisiana. Keep him away. You know Frank Wilson's going to go after Louisiana players. He's trying. Now, deep down in his heart, I'm pretty sure he's glad that Trey Martin's going to LSU, but that's a story for a different day, okay? Story for a different day. Frank Wilson, big LSU guy. Just didn't have a spot on the staff, so he's cashing a paycheck at Ole Miss. But I'm thrilled that LSU reeled Trey Martin in. I think that's a really good thing. And when you look at LSU from a depth perspective and from a talent perspective at the running back position, they are stocked for years to come here. Things happen very quickly. Guys move on, but it stands to reason LSU and Kevin Smith in a really good spot. And Kevin Smith's going to do a great job as running backs coach here. I said that from the beginning. I told you, and you can go back. Like I said, I like having Frank Wilson on staff. I think it's a positive for LSU. If he leaves, LSU's not going to fall apart at running back. And Kevin Smith's a great running backs coach, and he's doing a great job right now. And that's evidence is the talent he's reeled in. And I watched him coach those guys because he was 5 feet from us on the practice field. That's where we're allowed to stand. He's a really good coach, and he's got a good room now. So that's a good spot for LSU as they bring in Trey Martin and the class of 2027. Third running back commitment in the last 10 days for Kevin Smith and LSU. You will certainly take that. We're off and running here on the Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. They're online at builtbyrenaissance.com. That's builtbyrenaissance.com. We'll step aside when we come back. What Cam Jordan had to say after his kids took the mic. We'll talk about that next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
GoTro's Outdoor Power. It's GoTrosOnline.com, but go by and see them. Well, why go by and see them, Hunt? Well, this is the week of the year to go by and see them. It is Father's Day week, you all know, and they're having awesome, awesome sales events over at GoTro's Outdoor Power. For the entire month of June, they've had $200 off of the Hustler Raptor Series. For the entire month of June, they've had Hustler Fast Track Series $500 off. For the entire month of June, they've had those Hustler commercial mowers up to $1,500 off, and that continues throughout June. But this week, Father's Day week, if you go in and see the available stock that they have, by the way, they're the largest Hustler dealer in the state, you're going to get no sales tax this week. That's running out. You got until the 20th, which is in 3 days. So if you're looking for a new zero-turn mower, you're looking for something to help maintain that property during these summer months, go to GoTro's Outdoor Power this week. 2 locations, Airline Highway in Baton Rouge, and of course in Gonzales as well. And go get these incredible savings on their line of Hustler products. It's GoTro's. They're online at GoTrosOnline.com.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
My name is Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years. What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinela.com and tell them Matt sent you.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Wednesday show is brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. They're online at builtbyrenaissance.com, builtbyrenaissance.com. I always tell you they're more than happy to build you the pool of your dreams at Renaissance Homes and Pools. They've done it for dozens and dozens of Baton Rouge area folks over the years, but it doesn't have to be a new pool. Maybe you built your pool 10 to 15 years ago. Maybe it's time for a remodel. If you've got plaster that is fading, maybe it's peeling, Renaissance Homes and Pools can come in and they can remove that old and reinstall the new. They don't even have to remove the water line, but it could be a good time to do that if you're updating the pool. That new water line tile and plaster is going to make your pool look brand new. And the remodel can expand to decking and your pool equipment. Maybe you can add automation to control the pumps, the heater, the lights, the valves. All that can really give new life to an existing pool if it's a decade plus old. So look, if you're looking for a new pool, Renaissance Homes and Pools can help. If you've got a pool, but it needs a facelift, Renaissance Homes and Pools can help you with that as well. Give Joey Blanchard a call or shoot him a text message. He's the owner of the company. He gives you his cell phone number every single week on these shows on Wednesdays. 225-252-7745. That's 225-252-7745. You can also check him out at builtbyrenaissance.com. It's Renaissance Homes and Pools. They bring you our Wednesday shows each and every week. North Carolina off and running in Omaha. West Virginia's going to have to beat the Heels twice. And North Carolina has struck first in the top of the first. It is 1-0 Tar Heels there from Charles Schwab Field. Of course, we'll have some action tonight between the Georgia Bulldogs and the Oklahoma Sooners in an all-SEC showdown. But North Carolina on the board early over West Virginia. West Virginia, again, going to have to beat them today and tomorrow to get to the championship series. North Carolina just 1 win away. 2-0 now. North Carolina there in the top of the first. All right, Cam Jordan announced yesterday that he is re-signed with the New Orleans Saints and is going to play what we believe to be his final season as a New Orleans Saint. So we'll let Cam kind of talk his way through the process as he saw it, because we gave you our opinion yesterday on kind of how we saw it, but Cam knows certainly better than us. This was his opening statement on returning to New Orleans.
Just, overly appreciative of the Saints organization, of you guys, of every random fan that we've talked to the last 15, 16 years. Like I said, just excited to be back in the city. I think we got a lot of work to accomplish, especially with the Cam Jordan Foundation, how we've been able to send kids to school the last couple of years. Looking forward to doing more. I think we're about to activate, 16 years, 16 weeks of give backs to New Orleans. We've got so much plans in the works already. Even if I hadn't been here, I still would have give back. But I'm overly blessed and highly favored for being here.
And that's an interesting opening statement, and I think one that comes from the heart. You didn't hear any football there. That's a guy who is connected to the city, which is such an awesome thing, and it's something we talked about yesterday where it's just very rare for a player to spend his entire career, especially one that is ticketed for the Hall of Fame, in one city, and Cam Jordan is going to do that. But we had our doubts, especially when the Saints went and fortified their edges with two veterans in the offseason. So did Cam have any doubt he'd be back in New Orleans?
The open line of communication I've had with Mickey as well as the Saints and all my guys here has been nothing short of a blessing. And at the end of the day, it was mutual benefit for us to come back. From what I want to do with perspective, I always believe in, black and gold and how, I'm still pumping up the draft like I'm still part of the team. I don't think that's ever going to change. The way that I want to affect this city, I don't think that's ever going to stop. I think I still went to a couple school visits. Of course, there's always avenues that you could take that'll take you away from home, but it's become home for us. So you always end up back at the crib.
Always end up back at the crib, huh? You'll hear the question here, but the question is asked, and Cam gave an answer. Did he ever consider another offer?
Did you seriously consider it, like any other offer?
No. I would not. Why would you? No, I would never.
And there's a tongue-in-cheek aspect to that. Certainly, there probably were other teams interested. I can't speak to an offer, and Cam's playing a little bit coy there, but you would imagine there was some interest, but not to the level that was going to pry him from a place that he really wanted to be. Now, I thought this was a great question that was posed, is why not join a, quote, contender and try to chase a Super Bowl?
One, because they're all cold. Ew. And two, when you look at our roster, you see the growth, you see the development, you see Tyler Shuck, you look at CO, you see the explosiveness of a Jordan Tyson. You see how Devon Valet was playing last year. You see Jawan Taylor. We bring in some WWE kids. I just think there's so much talent on the roster itself.
And look, there is some exciting aspects to this New Orleans roster. There's no question. I don't think anybody is going to call them a true contender in August of this year. The Saints would have to play their way into a surprise to become that. But there are exciting aspects to what's going on in New Orleans, and I think it's natural for Cam to want to be a part of some of that, for sure. Now, I've told you that in my experience with NFL players, which is real limited, but it's multiple, and Jeremy Hill would sit right there and tell you that they always think they're a contender. And I think that there are going to be people in that Saints locker room, maybe most of them, that think they've got a chance to do something special this year. We'll see if that's the case. But contracts are important to all NFL players, and Cam talked about the negotiations and getting things structured the way that the things ended up.
And in any negotiation, there's always going to be things that you want and can get through. And at the end of the day, it was more along the lines of what our family felt. So I kept sort of deferring to not only my foundation but to my wife about. Well, I was like, "Yo, it's good to come back, right?" I was like, "We're not going to have any." Great. All right. So as long as we were clear there. Contract-wise, there was a couple bumps that we just cleared up recently, and then it sort of cleared the path.
And I think that once we get all of the details of the contract, we'll be able to comment it further. But based on the reporting that was done, Ian Rappaport had things first yesterday. Sounds like the Saints got really what they wanted there. And they wanted an incentive-laden deal. They wanted a one-year deal, and that's what you got. And I think Cam Jordan probably wanted the incentives to be rather sizable because I think he believes there is still a lot left in that tank. And his statistics from last year would back that up. He was excellent against the run. And while his Pro Football Focus grade wasn't fantastic when it comes to pass rushing, the production was with 10.5 sacks and a number of other pressures. So I think Cam Jordan thinks he can earn a significant amount of money. And I think the Saints are willing to pay him that money if he earns it. And that was really probably what things came down to from that perspective. But Cam talked about what was the deciding factor here.
The dad, like I said about 2 weeks ago, he's like, "Hey, man, you're affecting our lives here." I was like, "Oh, no, I did not know that. I could have sworn us moving to Arizona, it would have been the same everyday routine." But no, that'd be the final part. When you look at these, 4 beautiful kids growing up, their whole lives have been here, so they don't know how not to carry on. And when you had that conversation, I was like, "All right, let me just humble myself here and let's get this done," which is awesome because I've got so much intended for this city with this upcoming year.
That's really cool because we talk about it all the time. The disconnect between the fans and the players is the business, and that's when dollars and cents come. Because when you go in the Superdome to watch the Saints play, when you plop down on the couch in your jersey after church on Sunday and you fire up the Saints, you do not care how much money the right guard makes or the edge rusher makes. You don't care. You only care about the wins and losses. The players don't care as deeply day to day, year to year, decade to decade as you do about the uniforms, about the franchise. They're mercenaries in large part. But there are some that grow attached, and then they plant roots, and then that becomes an impactful thing. And in Cam's case, I truly believe that. I don't think he's making that up. Now, I don't know what else was on the table. And it's possible that he turned down a more lucrative guaranteed offer to stay home so his 4 kids could go to the same school and they could live in the same house and he could be a part of the same locker room and all that. Like, we don't know that. But I think that it's reasonable to determine that Cam Jordan, the organization and the city and his foundation and his 4 kids certainly mean a lot. And if that meant taking a little bit of a haircut financially in his 16th season, so be it. That's what we're going to do. Speaking of that 16th season, the final season, and Cam talked about that.
I don't ever want to do this again. This whole offseason, I just told Kai, I was like, I don't like this, yeah. So we're going to take it. We're going to take everything the way we want to. Year 16, I mean, how many more years do you want me to play, Ross? Like, what do you want from me? I definitely am going to take to this like every game is my last to ever play. And I'm going to be, like I said, overly appreciative of all my teammates. I'm overly blessed and excited to be back with the team. I can't wait for summer camp.
So a non-answer there. And look, if he has 11.5 sacks this year, we'll revisit. If his playing time dwindles to very little because you went and got Anthony Jennings and he plays more, or Tyree Wilson plays more, and he has 2.5 sacks this year and plays 31% of the defensive reps, I think the writing's on the wall and you realize, okay, that's it. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. This was the bridge that needed to be crossed this offseason. And I think for all parties involved, based on Cam's press conference yesterday where he sat 3 of his kids up there who talked to the media for 10 seconds each, and he had a big smile on his face, and he talked about the city and talked about wanting his family to be home and talked about his 16 years and 16 weeks and giving back and talked about the excitement of the locker room. And it just seemed like he was really happy yesterday. And obviously we feel like he can be additive to the roster and certainly additive to the franchise this year. It seems like everybody kind of got what they wanted. And if the Saints this year can play him for whatever percentage of the snaps that is, he can have a nice finish off season, can get a curtain call in the dome and maybe make a playoffs for one more time and then hang it up and continue to work on that foundation. I think that's the I hesitate to say dream scenario because you'd love to win a Super Bowl and have confetti all over your face walking off for the last time. But if we're being realistic, that is a wonderful scenario for his send-off. And I think that everyone will probably treat this on the outside like it's Cam last season, unless we look up on Thanksgiving and he's got 9.5 sacks. That's kind of where I am on this. But ultimately, as we put this to bed, I talked about it yesterday, and this is Cam's version of it today. We'll kind of put this storyline to bed. We'll talk to Sharif about it in the second hour. Ultimately, this is a win for everyone. It's a win for Cam Jordan, the football player. It's a win for Cam Jordan, the father and husband. It's a win for Cam Jordan, the foundation head. And it is certainly a win for the New Orleans Saints and the community in New Orleans to have Cam Jordan be a one-uniform guy and a guy that has been such a positive influence on an organization and a city. And when you take a guy in the first round of the draft, you never really know what you're getting. And a lot of times you get a nice player who ends up somewhere else at some point. A lot of times you get a league average player. A lot of times you get a Pro Bowler. And a lot of times you get a guy that just doesn't really live up to expectations. Rarely do you get a guy that shows up for 16 years, makes Hall of Fame. And he's at least making the Saints Hall of Fame, and he's probably going to make the other one too. And so really, really good day for the Saints, for New Orleans, for Cam Jordan yesterday. And we'll kind of put a bow on that with Sharif Ishak, who was in the room yesterday later on. Saints back at it in mandatory minicamp today. Practice ongoing right now as we speak. So we'll get a thought on that from Sharif Ishak when we return in hour number 2 as well. It is What If Wednesday. Very much invite all of you to our text line, 225-499-1045. Shoot us a text if you've got a what if. We got 3 or 4 of them right now that have come from Twitter and the Bayou 4 chat. But if you got another one, we will file those in for the next segment and get to some what ifs. We'll do sports. We'll do whatever you want. It's What If Wednesday coming up next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Ochsner reminding you all month long, that is all during the month of June, about getting active and staying active, right? That's what Ochsner wants to do. Whether you're an athlete or just just an active person. Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute can help get you moving and keep you moving. You got access through Ochsner to the highest levels of specialized care. You got nationally renowned expertise. You've got the latest equipments, modern facilities, and you've got a convenient walk-in orthopedic clinic at Elite Training Complex right there on Burbank if you need care fast, whether it's sprains, strains, minor dislocations, sports injuries, including ACL tears. You can walk into Elite's Training Complex and start on the path to recovery. Ochsner Andrews Institute is there to help you move your healing forward and get you back to doing what it is you love. Maybe that's playing high school sports. Maybe that's playing some ancient athletes. Maybe that's getting back in the gym, or maybe it's playing with the grandkids. That's what Ochsner is here for. Learn more at ochsner.org/brortho. That's ochsner.org/brortho.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
I'm Billy Schmidt, and I've been with First American Bank for 13 years. I have a passion of getting to know customers, getting to know their journeys, getting to know their stories, and being a small part of that, and just continuing that, and taking those relationships and expanding out into the community, just to make First American a household name. And people look at us and say, hey, what's special about you guys? You're part of a family.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized, it'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Wednesday show is brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools, built by Renaissance.com, built by Renaissance.com. West Virginia trying to punch back up there in Omaha. It is 2-0 North Carolina in the bottom of the first inning, but the Mountaineers have runners on the corners and 2 outs and just singled home a run. So West Virginia is cut that lead in half. So North Carolina wins there in the championship series. If West Virginia wins, they'll play again tomorrow. Keep you posted as we move forward here on a Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show. LSU added a relief pitcher yesterday. We'll talk about that in hour number 2. 3 things on the Ole Miss Rebels. Coming up football-wise at 2:15, Sharif Ishaq, an hour from right now from Saints Minicamp. Right now, it's What If Wednesday.
Time, space, reality. It's more than a linear path. Where a single choice can branch out into infinite realities. Follow me and ponder the question. What if?
All right, so what if you could play 3 private golf courses in the country?
Augusta's obviously one. That's my number one in the world. That's the thing I would like to do more than anything else in the entire planet is play Augusta National.
All right.
If you gave me one afternoon to do anything personally I could do in the entire world, it would be that. Shinnecock, where they play the U.S. Open this weekend, is probably number 2. Based on the look of that place, just looks incredible. And I think the third private course I would like to play is pretty obvious, is Pine Valley. It's one that they don't play majors on. It is a really, really exclusive club up there in the Northeast. I've seen a flyover of it on YouTube. It looks remarkably difficult, but I would like to play it nonetheless. So that's probably my 3. It would be Augusta, Shinnecock, and Pine Valley, I think would be the answers.
Are you drawn more to like a more difficult course, or what are you exactly looking for?
It depends.
Okay.
Yes, I'm in on difficult courses. I think that's awesome. I like exclusivity because it makes you want to do that more. If no one can do it, like that's something you want to do. And also like history, which Pine Valley doesn't have history nationally because they don't play U.S. Opens there. It's just a really exclusive club.
Okay.
But like history at Augusta, history at Shinnecock, those are places that have hosted major championships, a lot of them over the years. So that would be something I would be very interested in as well.
All right, so what if the U.S. best athletes play soccer? I believe that most of them gravitate towards football and basketball, of course.
We would win because we win at basketball, we win at swimming, we win at track, we win at gymnastics, we win at wrestling, we win at everything. We win at everything there is. And we don't win at soccer because we don't put our best foot forward there. It's too far down the totem pole. And when they've got all, I talked about this last week. You weren't here, but Alondra was laughing at me. And I'll say the same thing if you were listening last week. You heard this again, but Jordan wouldn't have heard it. Like turn on the World Cup.
Okay.
Find me one dude that looks like Saquon Barkley running around the World Cup.
There isn't. Oh, maybe like one Lukaku for Belgium, but that's about it. That's one person.
We got him. We got him. We got a whole league full of them.
Yeah, I'm about to say one.
So it's like we would be the best if we took our athletes and put our investment into coaching said athletes. Instead, we don't. We got a bunch of like ACC schools running around playing soccer and nobody else cares. The SEC doesn't even have men's soccer. So
they don't?
No.
Oh Lord,
we don't even have men's soccer.
It's hot down here.
I know. So and then they play. They're the first team to kick off. They start in August. So it's like, yeah. I mean, we just don't. We don't care. But we would. I don't care what Germany says. I don't care what Italy says. I don't care what Brazil. We would crush them if we had LeBron in goal.
Oh yes.
Sorry.
They don't
have any LeBrons.
Julio Jones back in like, oh man, we would be dominant. But that kind of bleeds into this one. So what if the U.S. wins the World Cup? Does soccer actually become important?
That's interesting. And I think the answer is yes. I think that you can trace back like landmark moments in sports that have created groundswells. Like Tiger Woods undoubtedly inspired a massive generation of golfers. All the guys who are in their mid-20s right now talk about watching Tiger growing up. I think that you'll see a massive movement from Caitlin Clark, who has transformed women's basketball. It just that type of impact is amazing on generations if you can kind of make it cool and make it through social media. So right now, if the U.S. just gets through group stage and gets bounced in the knockout round like they usually do, like nobody's going to really pay attention. But if you're talking about, I don't know how many stages are after knockout round. I mean, how many stages of knockout round there are till you get to the final. But the country will be on fire if they do that. Now, no one, to be clear, no one expects Team USA to go win the World Cup. They don't have a single one top 100 player in the entire field. But this is a what if Wednesday. It's a what if proposition. If they did that, this place would be on fire. And yes, it would inspire people to go buy a soccer ball, to go out for soccer, and to pay more attention. There's no doubt in my mind.
It would, but the only problem is it will never be the NFL. That's the only. It would never be. Yeah,
but you would inspire a generation if you did that. There's little doubt.
All right, so what if Oklahoma State beat Iowa State in 2011, causing LSU to dominate Oklahoma State in the BCS National Championship, allowing Miles more time, and Coach O never got hired, likely not getting Burrow or the 2019 Natty, but the program doesn't take a rut starting in 2020 till now?
Let's answer that question, then I'll dovetail it further. So if Oklahoma State beats Iowa State,
yes,
and they come down to New Orleans and get absolutely annihilated, which they would have, Les Miles would have had an 07 title and an 11 title. He got fired in 16.
Mm-hmm.
I still think he gets fired in 16 with 2 national titles. I don't think that 4 hours is what did. Now, it certainly did not help him that he came up with no game plan. T-Bob's talked about it. They worked on the option in December, showed up and just thought they could kind of play defense and hope they busted a big play, and Tyron ran a punt back or something. And they got their butts kicked. But you would have still had the same problems moving forward, where you had a 3-year run of guys who left early, even though they shouldn't have. The Freak Johnsons of the world, the Malachi Duprees of the world, who did not need to try the NFL waters, but everybody at LSU was going, we got the most players in the NFL. Everybody else stayed here for 3 years. All my friends are rich. I'm leaving. And you had a bunch of guys leave early. You relied way too heavily on the running game. Your quarterback play was terrible, and I don't think any of that would have been fixed if Tyron did run 2 punts back and you won that game in New Orleans. So I think he still gets fired, and I think a lot of the same things do happen. That's my answer to the question. The second part of this is that I've just invented. Would you trade it? And I think if you're telling me I needed to go through the Mettenberger year with no defense in 13, and then the Fournette years with no passing game, and then go into the Les Miles getting fired, and then Ogeron stumbling out of the blocks with the Troy thing, and then Burrow shows up and gets to 19. Basically, I would have sat through anything that involved getting to 2019. And so I wouldn't change anything. I think there is something to the struggles making the highs higher. And there was a sense that I gathered from Alabama fans through the Saban era that September through Christmas were boring. They were going to go 11-1 or 12-0.
Yeah.
And they were going to get in the BCS championship game, or they were going to get in the playoff. And then it got interesting. And then they won more often than they didn't at a certain point. And that, I think, devalues winning to an extent.
It does.
And so for me, I don't want to be A&M, where I've never won and I'm yearning for that first one. And I don't really want to be Indiana. Indiana at this point, who sat through atrocious football forever and ever, and then just had these 2 great seasons, and one was a win. I've gotten a sprinkling of success. I won in 03, I won in 07, I played for it in 11, and then I got what I got in 19. I like LSU's trajectory as much as anything, because you had enough lull, enough downtime to where when you got back to the top of the mountain, it was awesome.
Yes.
So I wouldn't trade anything. I wouldn't change anything. I think it was all great.
So you're just a fan of the ups and downs of
Yeah,
LSU.
I think and look, in Ohio State's to an extent what Alabama was, they just haven't won as many titles.
Yes.
But I think their trajectory is good too. We're always good. The Michigan games are important. We're in the playoffs. Can we beat Alabama this time? Maybe not. Can we beat Clemson this time? Maybe not. And sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. They ran into Clemson, who ran into LSU.
Yeah, but they was there.
But they're there, they're relevant, and they haven't won so many times that it's like old hat.
Yeah.
And so I think that's a good spot to be into. But I wouldn't trade anything.
All right, so what if LSU loses more than 2 games in the upcoming football season? Will the fan base be restless?
It's interesting, and it probably depends on how it looks.
Or who they lose to.
Yeah, that's kind of what how it looks means to me. That means they lose 3 games. I think if they go 9-3 this year and they lose, say they lose at Ole Miss, they lose Texas at home, and at Tennessee. That's your 3 losses. That means you beat Bama. That means you beat A&M. That means you beat Clemson. If LSU goes 9-3, beats Bama, Clemson, and A&M, and loses to Texas, Ole Miss, and Tennessee, and LSU fans think that there's a problem with the program or that the hire was wrong, I think you've probably lost perspective. That's my sense without watching it with my own eyes, just my hypothetical of what that might look like. I think that's probably a realistic way the way the season goes, quite honestly. 10-2, I think, would be a great year.
It would.
And 8-4 would be like, that was a little bit of an underachievement based on the investment in the roster. I think 9-3 is a sweet spot where everybody would where I would certainly look at it and go, I wish you would have made that play in that game to get in the playoff, but like better than you were, and some really good wins. Let's keep it rolling. Like that's kind of how I would feel. But we're talking about the fan base here, and in the hours after a loss, everybody wants to fire everybody because that's just what you got to do. So, I talk about this now. There are people that are cranky with Jay Johnson right now. There were people that wanted to bench Jaden Daniels early in 2023 because they wanted Nussmeier to throw it deeper after the Florida State game. So that's what the fan base says. They want to get rid of the coach with 2 championships in 3 years, and they want to bench the Heisman winner. That's what fan bases do. This one is not immune to that. That's the way things go. So that's it for What If Wednesday.
That's it.
All right, let's come back and close out the hour. Y'all want to yell at me about the College World Series? We'll do it next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Let me remind you, my friends, at Boudreaux's Electrical Services, online at boudreauxelectrical.com. That's boudreauxelectrical.com. Give Neil and Melissa a call. They're the local team. They've been at it for 40 years. 985-397-1562. That's 985-397-1562. Or at the Gonzales location, 225-300-9389. You're talking about a company that's been at this for 40 years, making sure that South Louisiana residents have got that Generac home standby generator at the ready. In the summer, we've got nasty afternoon showers that come by, and they will turn your lights out for a few hours. It's a nuisance. We've got hurricanes that come through and can lose your lights for a week. Can't live like that down here, especially not in July, August, September. It's 100 degrees. Make sure you got the peace of mind of that Generac home standby generator from the local team at Boudreaux's Electrical Services. A local team comes out and installs it. A local team monitors it, and a local team will come out and do your maintenance. So you're taken care of. You can buy from the big box store. I promise you can do it. You may never hear from them again. At Boudreaux's Electrical, that will never happen. Neil and Melissa will see to it. They've been at it 40 years. Make yours next up for Boudreaux's Electrical Services. Online at boudreauxelectrical.com.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of The Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Well, I'm telling you about friends at Fabry Chevrolet GMC, online at FabryChevrolet.com. That's FabryChevrolet.com. Highway 61 in St. Francis, Phil. Been under the Fabry family umbrella since October the 1st. So you're gaining on a year here up there in St. Francis, Phil. You know the Fabry family, 3 locations in Baton Rouge, 5 brands, been here for 35 years, and you're assured of wonderful customer service, a great buying experience, and great service after the sale with my friends at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. If you're looking to load up the family for that summer road trip and you're looking for a Chevy Tahoe, maybe a Suburban on the GMC side of Yukon or Denali, gorgeous vehicles. They've got them, new and pre-owned. Check out the website, FabryChevrolet.com. It's incredibly user-friendly. The entire inventory is there, and you can sort it by price, mileage, make and model. You can sort it by whatever you're looking for, and then you can see what they've got in stock. You can start that buying experience online at FabryChevrolet.com, but go see them, Highway 61 in St. Francisville, and let them put you behind the wheel of a new vehicle. It's Fabry Chevrolet GMC, online at FabryChevrolet.com. Man, what a great game last night between Texas and Georgia. Just an incredible ball game. Dylan Vigneault and Luke Harrison got the start, and this is the point where a lot of teams are kind of dipping down into their pitching. And that wasn't the case with Texas and Georgia. They've got 3 guys very capable of starting. Georgia, in this case, had not even gone to their bullpen yet. And Texas has 3 good starters. So Vigneault goes 4 innings of 2-hit baseball. He struck out 8 and walked only 2. He had thrown 70 pitches. And in a spot where Georgia had a lead and Wes Johnson wasn't going to mess around, he goes to his really only bullpen bullet, is Justin Bird. Because they started Caden Aoki. In the last game, he goes 9 innings. He had been kind of a relief weapon for them as well. He went to Justin Bird, and Bird finished the game. 5 innings of shutout baseball. Incredible stuff against that Texas lineup. And Texas almost matched him pitch for pitch. Luke Harrison came out with the best stuff he's had in 2 years in Texas rotation. Set a career high for strikeouts with 11, 5 2/3 innings, 1 earned run against that Georgia offense. The breaking ball was awesome. He was blowing heaters by him, looked great. And same way with the season on the line, trailing, bases loaded, Jim Schlossnagle goes to Sam Cozart, the freshman sensation closer, and Cozart was awesome. He gave up 1 run in 3 1/3, but Texas didn't score. Texas didn't score. And I told y'all that I thought Texas won the game last night, and I thought their pitching was in a great spot. I liked Harrison. I liked Cozart. I liked Texas's pitching depth more than Georgia's pitching depth, but Texas didn't force Georgia to go to the depth. And Georgia hasn't been forced to do that. Georgia's really got 4 guys, and they've all 4 pitched. And that's all they've used, and they've gotten to this point. Now, they lost a game. But I liked Texas' depth, and the Texas depth was great. If you'd have told me that Texas was only going to allow 2 runs last night, I'd have said awesome. And they couldn't score. It goes back to the point I made on Monday, where you look at the games on Friday and Saturday, and you see the first 4 games, and you look at what wins. It's starting pitching. It's pitching that is winning. Nobody is slugging their way through this tournament. Troy was scoring a lot of runs. They didn't score yesterday because the offense will dry up. You have to pitch. And Georgia has pitched. If you would have told me that Georgia was getting a complete game from Volchko, a complete game from Aoki, and was only going to have to use Vigneault and Bird in game 3, I'd have said, oh, they're in the championship series, 3-0. No, because they didn't hit. They're not hitting. It's pitching in Omaha. And that gives me a little bit of pause with LSU. We're going to talk about the pitcher that LSU added in this next segment at the top of hour number 2. But pitching is king in Omaha. You just can't slug your way through it. And I'm going to talk about this later on this week, Thursday or Friday. But Jim Schlossnagle is an unbelievable baseball coach. He was unbelievable at TCU. He was unbelievable at A&M. He is unbelievable at Tech. He is fan-freaking-tastic and can't get it done in Omaha. And it's not his fault. It's not his fault Texas didn't score last night. I refuse to believe that. You hear, well, Schlossnagle chokes in Omaha. What the heck is he supposed to do? Go hit Georgia's third and fourth pitchers. Score a run. Texas's offense has been among the SEC leaders in various categories all season. They didn't hit. It's not Pat Casey's fault that Oregon State didn't hit against LSU for 2 days last year in 2017. It's not. It's not Wake Forest coach's fault that Wake threw it in the deep freeze against good pitching in Skeens, but they didn't hit against freshman Griffin Herring the night before. You got to hit, but you got to pitch. And Georgia's pitching. And as I said, I think Georgia wins tonight over Oklahoma. I think they force a game tomorrow, and I think they win that. I think they're going to championship series. And I think they'll have to run into North Carolina. I think North Carolina will handle one of these two. It may not be today, but Carolina would like that to rest DeCaro. The key for those teams that have won 2 games that are in the winner's bracket is to try to win the first one of these so you don't have to throw your ace on Thursday. LSU had to waste Skeens in 2023 and couldn't use him in the title series. Conversely, Anderson and Ianson were lined up last year. That's what you've got to try to do. Great baseball in Omaha. I have loved every second of it, and we'll continue loving it today. That's it for hour number 1 here. If you missed any, catch it on demand. We'll pause for Sports Center. LSU added a relief pitcher yesterday. I watched him. We'll see.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Marucci, go take a tour at Marucci. Go take a tour. Learn about the official bat of Major League Baseball. It's made right here in Baton Rouge. You can see where they make 1,200 of them every single day. See where they're cut, crafted, see where they're stained, see where they're shipped off to the best players in the world. It's all right here in Baton Rouge. If you take a tour, go buy a ticket, maruccisports.com/campus-tour. When you do, you get a discount in the Campus Tour store and in the Hitter's House. So what's the Hitter's House? I'll tell you what the Hitter's House is. It's where you take hacks. It's where you work on your game. If you've got a youth baseball player, youth softball player, high school baseball player, high school softball player, and they're bored out of their minds in the summer, want to work on their game, go take some hacks. Become a member in the Hitter's House. You get key card access. You can use it 24/7. Before work, after work, at lunch, in the rain, in the dark, you can do it over at Marucci. Check out the website, maruccisports.com. That's from our friends over at Marucci.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know you deserve value when you purchase equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor for just $297 a month. With 0% financing for 72 months. Tractor packages with a trailer also available. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, get your job done. Don't wait. This offer ends June 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Ever wonder why?
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Scotty Scheffler will be favored heading into the U.S. Open, which tees off tomorrow. It's his 15th consecutive major as the pre-tournament favorite or co-favorite, plus 445 odds at DraftKings Sportsbook to win this weekend and complete the career Grand Slam. ESPN golf reporter Michael Collins.
Listen, I'll never bet against Scotty Scheffler, but I don't think he should be the favorite going into this week. I understand why he is, because he is Scotty Scheffler, and his record over the long term has been spectacular. But is he coming into this week playing better golf than some of the other top-name guys? No, absolutely not.
Michael Collins on Unsportsmanlike. Contract talks between the Jazz and restricted free agent center Walker Kessler have stalled despite Utah's 5-year, $140 million offer. He's proven to be one of the NBA's premier shot blockers and rebounders. Jazz has the right to match any offer sheet that Kessler signs as an RFA. NHL Golden Knights named Ryan Craig their new head coach. He spent the last couple of seasons as the coach of their AHL affiliate. Former Kings coach Jim Hiller hired as the new head coach of the Maple Leafs.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Wednesday, Brian Windhorst dropped his top 6 storylines that already are shaping the NBA offseason. I'll tell you which one intrigues me the most. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Now, The Hunt Palmer Show.
This is a catastrophe.
You are now listening to The Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
That's what I wished for when I blew out my candle.
Locking down the middle of the day. Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
The floor is yours.
Hour 2, Wednesday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. About half that work week now, finally in the rearview mirror. We are working towards the weekend. Appreciate you being with us. Sharif Ishak will be along in 30 minutes. Saints had mandatory minicamp earlier today. Sharif was there, had a chance to chat with the Saints in the locker room afterward as well. So we'll check in from Metairie coming up in 30 minutes with Sharif Ishak, 15 minutes from right now. We'll get to our Three Things series. We are now with the Ole Miss Rebels from a football perspective. So we'll talk about LSU's third opponent. Started with Clemson on Monday. Talked about Louisiana Tech yesterday. We'll do Ole Miss coming up 15 minutes from right now. But let's talk some LSU baseball right now as the Tigers dipped into the transfer portal for what they need, pitching, last night. The news broke via Jay Johnson on Tiger Rag Radio that LSU had gotten a signature from Southern Cal transfer Diego Velasquez, a right-handed pitcher who just finished his freshman year with the Trojans. Now, this is an interesting sign for LSU for a couple of reasons. One, he's got multiple years of eligibility remaining. Two, he was an excellent high school player positionally, offensively, and on the mound. You're talking about one of the top players in the state of California. In fact, Perfect Game ranked him as the number 5 shortstop in California, the number 15 overall player in California. And I checked with LSU to see if there was a chance this could be a two-way deal, because he did primarily pitch at USC, but he took some at-bats as well. And LSU said this is primarily a pitching ad, but that he was such a good position player in high school, that's on the table. It may be something they do kind of in the background, but it's something that is available. And there have been really good players at LSU with backgrounds both ways. Jake Brown obviously comes to mind. Kason Evans obviously comes to mind. And those guys specialized. Jake Brown did not pitch, and Kason Evans did not hit. Now, Dalton Beck came in from Incarnate Word, and he took a couple of swings. It famously took a swing that was right before Jared Jones' walk-off home run at 1 o'clock in the morning against Tennessee. He lined a single up the middle, but he mainly was a left-handed pitcher for LSU. He's the only guy that's really been a two-way guy for Jay Johnson, but Velasquez could be that. Now, primary pitching. So let's talk pitching for the most part here. This is a guy who I mentioned just finished his freshman season. He made 13 appearances for USC. He made 5 starts. He threw 29 and 2/3 innings, had 34 strikeouts and 9 walks. So 34-9 is a really good strikeout to walk ratio, over 3-1. And he had an ERA of 4.55. He gave up 6 homers, which is a lot in 29 and 2/3 innings. He gave up 23 hits. It was a 209 batting average against. So statistically, not some monster season, but reasonable numbers as a freshman at USC. What I can tell you about Velasquez is I looked up some of his outings, and then I found that he started the regional game against Texas State on Sunday morning. So this was USC's route in the regional. They opened with Texas State, and they lost. So they came back and played the 4 seed on Saturday and won. Then on Sunday, they played Texas State, who had been beaten by A&M, and dropped into the Sunday morning game. And that's where USC beat them. They went on to beat USC on Sunday night. Beat Texas A&M on Sunday night and Monday night to win the regional. But in the Sunday morning game that the winner had to go beat A&M twice, Velasquez got that start. And so I went back and watched the first inning of that start. And here's what I saw. He is a 6'1", 203-pound right-hander. His mechanics are remarkably clean and efficient. Very, very, very simple wind-up, and the ball jumps out of his hand. He was hitting 96, 97 throughout the first inning. So that's what you're looking at. Really good athlete, obviously, being a high school hitter, shortstop. Now he's a college pitcher as a freshman starting a regional game. Clean mechanics, 96, 97-mile-an-hour fastball, good slider, and he threw a couple of really nice changeups. And what you gather from Velasquez is he doesn't walk a lot of guys. He had 15 appearances, and in 10 of the 15, he didn't walk anybody. So I like some of the things that you build around with Velasquez. This is a guy who, and I'm just basing this on his history, has focused on all facets of baseball his entire life. You can now focus all that athleticism on pitching. You want him to take some BP? Great. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with investing in two-way players. That in this era is a good thing. But for Velasquez, you've got a guy who's got a lot of physical gifts, a lot of talent that he can harness into one aspect of the sport. The arm strength is not a problem. He's right now, as a freshman, 97. And then you work with him in an environment that he hasn't gotten at USC. USC has a brilliant baseball history with 12 national championships. They lead the way. They're not at the forefront of college baseball right now. You get him into a pitching lab, you put 10 pounds on him, you allow him to just get stronger from an 18, 19, 20-year-old. You're looking at a guy who's going to throw 100 miles an hour one day. That's a reasonable expectation for a freshman at 97 whose mechanics are that clean. Yeah, there's 100 in that tank. And he throws a lot of strikes. So this is good. Jay Johnson told Tiger Rag Radio last night that he envisions Velasquez as kind of a Case and Evans type in 2027, what Evans did in 2025. So come on in with 1 out in the 8th and get the last 5 outs. Come on in with 2 outs in the 7th, get the last 7 outs. That's what he thinks of Velasquez right now. Now, you've got guys who are going to jockey for that position. I think Marcos Paz might jockey for that position. I could see William Schmidt or Case and Evans jockeying for that position, depending on how things shake out. And I know that a lot of people want left-handed pitching for this staff, and I get it. This is something I wrote for LouisianaSports.net, and I do mean this sincerely. I want left-handed pitching. I want LSU to have left-handed pitching. I think that's important. But what's more important than having left-handed pitching is having good pitching. In the big leagues, you've got to have guys from both sides. You just have to. The hitters are too good. To give them the advantage of the proper matchup in the big leagues is too much. But in college, a really good right-hander is better against left-handers than an average left-hander. More often than not. That's not a blanket statement, but it's pretty factual. You would rather have a dude, the two guys that UNC brings out of the pen if you've been watching, McDuffie, Gaudill, they're both right-handed. And they're both nasty on both. You'd rather those guys in the game in the ninth inning than a guy just because the hitter's left-handed. And I think Velasquez fits in that good pitching mold. He's a guy whose numbers will not catch your eye. But Griffin Herring's numbers as a freshman won't catch your eye. Neither will William Schmidt's. Neither will Cade Anderson's. You've had guys develop in the program. Ty Floyd wasn't brilliant as a freshman. This is a developmental guy with a ton of athleticism, a very, very functional delivery, a really strong arm, some high leverage moments for USC, and a lot of control. I think this is a really good addition for LSU. I think there's reason to believe this is a guy who can really, really help in the bullpen. You got to do it. You got to prove it. But I love the strikes, and I love the fluidity of his motion. So really good stuff there with Velasquez. I've also written at LouisianaSports.net that LSU is still in the market for bullpen arms, and there's one specifically that we need to take a look at here that I think LSU plans to get a visit from and very well could land. Now, they're going to have real competition from the SEC on this because you're going to have to deal with Mississippi State, you're going to have to deal with Ole Miss, you're going to have to deal with Texas, you're going to have to deal with Arkansas. But Louisiana Tech transfer Thomas Allen just finished his freshman year in Ruston. He was All-Conference USA, 3.54 ERA, had 19 appearances. Opponents hit just 192 against him, and his strikeout-to-walk ratio was 49-15 in 48 innings. His fastball also up to 98 miles an hour from the right side. Again, it's a right-hander. A lot of the same profile as Velasquez. A lot of the same profile, honestly, as Marcos Paz. But you need good pitchers. And I'll take guys that throw hard in the back of the bullpen, especially if they throw a lot of strikes. And this is a guy who, in college this past year, in 48 and a third innings, only walked 15 guys. LSU is planning on getting a visit. He's from Benton, just outside of Bossier, which is sister city with Shreveport, obviously. So from North Louisiana, played at Louisiana Tech, has got interest from SEC schools, and is going to come with a price. But I think that's a guy that LSU would look at, and it's another guy with multiple years of eligibility. Landon Hood has multiple years of eligibility from Gonzaga. Diego Velasquez, multiple years of eligibility from USC. And Thomas Allen from Louisiana Tech, if they can get him, multiple years of eligibility as well. So you're looking at guys who you can keep in the program for a couple of years if you're able to get them there. Yes, I want LSU to get left-handed pitching. I want LSU to get left-handed pitching for sure. I would love it if there's one more lefty that LSU could nab that throws strikes and has a fastball in the low to mid-90s. If they can find that, that is a missing piece they would really, really like to get. But good pitching is more important than left-handed pitching because it's not like you don't have any. You've got Cooper Williams, you've got Ethan Plog, you've got Danny Lockenmeyer, you've got Jonah Ase, who's coming back from injury, and we'll see what you can get through the draft. It's not like you're void of left-handed pitchers. Those guys just didn't have great years. So I'd love to get some, but you're getting right-handed pitching right now that's really good, and I like that as well. So I liked Diego Velasquez from the numbers perspective. When I saw the video, I liked him even more, and I think that's what Nate Yeske and Jay Johnson see as well. So good news for the Tigers as they pull in a super regional pitcher from USC. That's a team that went to UNC for the Super last weekend. So good stuff for the Tigers and Jay Johnson. We'll keep you posted on all that as we move through the transfer portal on LouisianaSports.net, of course, right here on the Hunt Palmer Show. Our Wednesday show is brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. When we come back, three things on Pete Golding's Ole Miss Rebels next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets, onebathandclosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. Go check out the website. The website is so functional and so helpful as well. Go to onebathandclosets.com. You can see the reviews from their satisfied clients. There's a ton of them you can read through. You can see the work that they've done. It's gorgeous aesthetically, it's functional, and it's customized to what you're looking for. So if you've got a closet that's just got clutter everywhere, there's not enough space, you're trying to share it with your spouse, you're jamming suitcases in places, doesn't fit, you bring out a suit or a dress shirt and it's crinkled up because you don't have the space. There are shoes from whatever party there that are all over the place. Create some more space with David Duvall and One Bath and Closets. Start with that free consultation. Guess where you can get it? At the website, onebathandclosets.com. David and his team promise this. They're going to do it right the first time and leave the competition behind. Check them out online at onebathandclosets.com, onebathandclosets.com.
My name is Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years. What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinecenterla.com.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Honestly, this week, probably not the best week to have a pool. It's going to rain like the whole week. But this time of year, great time to have a pool because it's 1,000 degrees and it's going to be 1,000 degrees until Halloween. So if you want to get that pool that you've always dreamed of and you think, man, I just never know when it's the time, have the conversation with the folks at Renaissance Homes and Pools. Joey Blanchard is the owner of the company. He's the guy you'll work with. He's the guy that will walk you through the entire process. And I'm going to give you his cell phone number to shoot him a text if you want to start that process. No matter what you're looking for a huge pool for your 6 kids and grandkids, Renaissance Homes and Pools can do it. Maybe you just want a cocktail pool, place to cool off, read a book, have a drink. They can do that too. No matter what you're looking for, Renaissance Homes and Pools can make it a reality for you. They've got this incredible software that allows you to design it from the ground down, I guess, instead of the ground up. You can also do that outdoor kitchen as well to pair that with a pool and create that outdoor space you've always wanted. Text Joey. He's the owner. 225-252-7745. That's 225, obviously right here in Baton Rouge. 252-7745. Say, hey, heard about you on Hunt Show. Would like to look into a pool. You'll start with him with the consultation, the design work. You'll chat with Joey. When they dig the pool, he'll be there. When they fill the pool, he'll be there. When they finish the pool, he'll be there. You don't have to worry about whether or not the person who's walking you through the process is invested. You've got the owner. It's Renaissance Homes and Pools. They're online at builtbyrenaissance.com. That's builtbyrenaissance.com. All right, every single day we're going through LSU's football schedule opponent by opponent, and I'm just giving you 3 things from a surface level. We started with Clemson on Monday, talked about Louisiana Tech yesterday. Now the big one. Let's talk about Ole Miss. This is going to be a game that everybody's talking about. I'm honestly tired of talking about it right now. I know by the time we get to it, I'm going to think, man, this is quite a circus. It'll be a big day on Saturday when it comes, but there's going to be some fatigue that sets in with the constant drilling down on the Lane Kiffin storyline. So we're not going to talk about the Lane Kiffin storyline in these three things with Ole Miss. We'll talk about first John David Baker. Well, who's John David Baker? That's the offensive coordinator they hired to replace Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss. John David Baker has been brought in from East Carolina. He worked on Lane Kiffin's staff for a couple of years in Oxford, and then he went to East Carolina. His first year there, the Pirates were in the top 10 nationally in yards, points, and passing. They really set it on fire. His second year, this past year, they were 15th in the country in total offense, 31st in scoring offense. So a nice 2 years there at East Carolina, and he goes back to Oxford to take the keys to the offense and run it under Pete Golding with Charlie Weiss and Lane Kiffin gone. Keep in mind, here's how Ole Miss ranked nationally in total offense in the last 5 seasons. Second, 13th, 8th, 6th. So top 13, 5 years. In the top 6, 3 of the last 6 years. So it's been an offensive program. They ascended once the defense caught up, but the offense has been elite at Ole Miss, and John David Baker's plan is to keep it that way. Now, he's got a really good foundation. He's got Trinidad Chambliss. He's got Keywan Lacey. That's where you start. But does John David Baker have the ability to maintain the elite level of offense that Ole Miss has had over the course of the last 6 seasons? That's a big, big key, obviously, to the Ole Miss team in 2026. Now, this is something that has been maintained from the Kiffin days, and that is the portal being a huge piece to Ole Miss's puzzle. 31 new players came in during the portal cycle. Rivals ranked the number 14 class in the country. You lost TJ Dottery and Prince Uleman and Winnie Watkins. They're in Baton Rouge. You know that. But Caden Lee was a big piece to the passing puzzle, we thought, entering this season. He's gone to Missouri. We know Deshaun Womack around here. He played a lot for them as an edge rusher last year. Not very productive, but played. He's gone to Auburn. But you kept Trinidad Chambliss. You kept Keywan Lacey. Now, are the guys that you brought in going to be able to carry the mail? That's the question. You've got an offensive line that's replacing 2 tackles. You went to Miami and got a tackle. You went to Florida and got a tackle. You went to LSU and got a tackle and Carius Kern. That's a big spot for Ole Miss. Linebacker. You've overhauled things. You went to Clemson, a guy that was enrolled and did a little shopping to bring one in. But it's a lot of guys to bring in that have got to be hits. And the question is, did they do that again? Good job last year. Good job 2 years ago. But that's still a question mark, and it's something that Ole Miss is going to have to make sure they've gotten right once again in the transfer portal. And then the last thing doesn't really have anything to do with Ole Miss specifically, but it does this year. And it's something that every team's got to deal with when you achieve the year prior. Because if you're Ole Miss and you beat Georgia and you're on the floor of the Superdome and you have taken down Georgia and now you're going to play Miami out in Arizona, you're there. You're in the semi. The national championship is right there. And now you put the pads on August 1st. It's a long way away, brother. It's a long way. And I would be willing to wager that nobody in Oxford was really thinking about winning the Natty on August 1st last year. I would wager nobody in Oxford was really thinking about winning the Natty at the end of September when LSU came. I would wager nobody in Oxford was really thinking about winning the Natty when you left Athens with a loss to Georgia. Now, it's all anybody's going to think about. You may think that's ridiculous in Baton Rouge. I don't care what you think in Baton Rouge. That's not the point. In Oxford, with Pete Golding, with John David Baker, with Trinidad Chambliss, with Keywan Lacey, you're now on the cover of video games. You're on the cover of magazines. You're getting Heisman buzz. Game day's already scheduled for week 3. You're going to be preseason top 10. You're thinking about the Natty in August, and that is a different way to approach a football season. Something goes wrong in the third quarter of a game, you're down, you're thinking about the Natty, you're thinking about the playoffs. It's just human nature. And for Ole Miss, for 60 years, you didn't have to worry about that. It's a bad problem to have, but you didn't. Now, it's part of the equation. And I'm just curious how the Ole Miss football program handles that. Because there were some thoughts that Ole Miss was really good 3 years ago when they came to Tiger Stadium undefeated. And everybody in Oxford, that was a Kiffin team. He chokes in big games, can't win them. Wouldn't have beat Georgia with them last year. He'd have gone for the fourth downs. Wouldn't have kicked the field goals. We'd have lost. Maybe that's true. That you might be right. The fact of the matter is that Ole Miss did not handle big-time expectations 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when they got off to a good start with all those potential draft picks on that team. So handling significant expectations for the first time in a very, very long time because of what you did last year and the change in perspective to there are 15 seconds left and we're playing for the Natty if we can keep them out of the end zone here before Carson Beck ran in. And, okay, we got to go to practice today. It's 100 degrees on August 14th. It's a different world. And I'm curious how Ole Miss operates in that. I'm not here to tell you they're going to do great. I'm not here to tell you they have no chance. I'm just curious because it is different. It's very different. And it's a big deal for Pete Golding and that team. So kind of my three things with Ole Miss entering this season. Does John David Baker keep things where they were on offense? He's got personnel built in that should help him do that. Your quarterback's back. Your running back's back. Your three interior offensive linemen are back. You got a really good center. Okay. I think Pete Golding will put a good defense out there. He's done that the years he's been there. But John David Baker's one. Are all your portal guys hits again? Do you have Princely Umanmielen and Walter Nolan and Kejuan Lacey? Do you have Trey Harris? Do you have Trey Amos? Do you have TJ Dottery? Do you have those impact guys that you've had over the last few years? We'll see. And then, how do you manage a whole new perspective on being the Ole Miss Rebels? You should be able to handle yourself against Louisville and Nashville, I would think. Week 3, can you keep your head on straight in a circus? Because a circus is coming to town. And then you got more to deal with. You got to deal with Texas. You got to deal with Georgia. You got to deal with Oklahoma. Got to deal with LSU. There's a lot there. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Oxford this coming season. I think their over-under in Vegas is low. I'm going to talk about that at probably media days next month. 8.5 just feels like that's a 9-3, 10-2 team. I think the quarterback's pretty good. The running back's pretty good. The head coach has coached some defense in his day, but we'll see. That's my look at the Ole Miss Rebels. Tomorrow, I believe, is the Texas A&M Aggies. I think. I can't swear to that. We'll get to it when we get to it. We're going in schedule order chronologically, so we'll see if, in fact, it is Texas A&M tomorrow. But that's a look at the Ole Miss Rebels. Moving along here, our Wednesday edition is brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. Sharif Ishak was with the Saints at mandatory minicamp. He was there in Cam Jordan's press conference yesterday. He's chatted with some of the black and gold earlier today. So we'll talk to Sharif from WDSU in New Orleans when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. SwingEasyGCBR.com. SwingEasyGCBR.com is that website. Get on by and see him. I told you this yesterday. It's a bad day. A bad week to get out there and try to play some golf. We're getting 4, 5, 6, 8 inches of rain all over the South Louisiana area, but that doesn't mean you can't go to Swing Easy Golf Club and play some golf. You can work on your game. Awesome spot. You can see the trajectory of your shots, see your ball speed, see your swing speed. You can see your carry distance. You can also see your spin numbers. You can see where your club impacts the ball. All that's super helpful if you're a low handicap player. Maybe you're a beginner. You just want to hit some shots. You can do that at Swing Easy Golf Club in the privacy of a bay. By yourself. Crank some tunes, turn on the U.S. Open, watch some College World Series, World Cup, they can play that for you. It's a great spot. If you want to go hang out this weekend, want to watch the U.S. Open and play Shinnecock on the simulator, you can do that too at Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. Become a member. Membership options are available. You can read about those online at SwingEasyGCBR.com. They're on Segan at Perkins, back in that shopping center. Go check them out at the end of this week or this weekend. Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
I've been in banking for over 35 years. I usually start about 7:30 in the morning, and I usually leave somewhere around 5, or if customers need me to meet them at their house or their business places, I don't mind going after hours. I have done churches, subdivisions, retail centers, hospitals, and nursing homes. And that's why we chose to live in this community, because of the values First American Bank has, that I can serve my community and my customers.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
North Carolina taking control in Omaha. They lead West Virginia 8-1 now in the 4th inning. Tar Heels really swinging the bats well, and looks like they're going to set their pitching up for the championship series and get a couple of days off here at the end of the week. If they can get that one to the house, I'd imagine they will get that done. 8-1 again, North Carolina leading West Virginia. That would send the Tar Heels to the championship series. Let me remind you about my friends at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. They're online at fabrychevrolet.com, fabrychevrolet.com. You can go see them. Highway 61 in St. Francisville. Got fantastic deals on some trucks all month long. You can get 0% APR financing if you're looking at a Chevy Silverado. Get on by and see them. Till the end of the month, they've got those fantastic deals. Looking for GMC Sierra, they've got fantastic deals on those as well. 2.9 APR financing for 72 months if you go by the end of the month. So go by and see them. If you're looking for a car around $30,000, they got Chevy Trax. You can check those out as well. They've got new. They've got pre-owned vehicles as well. You can start your shopping online at fabrychevrolet.com. Go see them, Highway 61 in St. Francisville. Always a great option. Fabry Chevrolet GMC online at fabrychevrolet.com. Black and Gold, Saints in for the mandatory minicamps this week. Cam Jordan has inked a deal to remain with the Saints for a 16th season. Sharif Ishak's there covering it all in Metairie for WDSU, and going to have to give us some time on a Wednesday on the Jim's Firearms Hotline. Sharif, how are we doing?
Good, man. Sorry I had to throw you a little curveball and go one day late. That press conference with Cam Jordan lasted longer than anyone expected, which is not a shocker.
They let all the kids talk, so, that's the way it goes. Doesn't anybody have any respect for the Hunt Palmer Show down there in Metairie?
I think Cam does. He said, Hunt, I know you need Sharif right now, but I need to make fun of Sharif's hairline.
I heard that.
Front of everybody.
I heard that. Describe the vibes around the Cam Jordan storyline and kind of what you think the process was like for him.
I think what he was making it clear that he did have other offers, but he wanted to make sure that it was cool with his family that he came back to the Saints. So he was at the Uruguay and I think Saudi Arabia game in Miami for the World Cup, and he just said, I call him Mickey, and I just want to get this done. He's like, I just want to get this out of the way. I want to come back and play, make it my final season. He never really definitively said it was his final season, even though he put out a post or a video that pretty much said it was, but he was in person was like flip-flopping on it, but I think it's his last year. But him saying that he wanted to be back here, his family, pushed for it and made sure that, his kids were good with it and they're all happy to be back. And he felt like it was the right choice. He wants to be back and he wants to push this franchise forward. He feels like the defense is, in a good spot. That was a big reason why he wanted to come back. I mean, wasn't money. The money is going to be kind of a base salary and incentives, kind of like last year, a lot of incentives. But I think he had a lot of incentives to come back. I mean, he knows that his father played with the Minnesota Vikings his entire career, and he wanted to play with the New Orleans Saints for his entire career. So that was one big reason, coming back, that legacy. And you're going to see it. You're going to see it for one more season, and we'll see how many sacks he piles up. And he has a new look. He has that short hair fade look, something he hasn't had since his rookie year. And he's just bringing it back to his rookie year for his final year.
The Saints have Carl Granderson. They got Chase Young. They go add Tyree Wilson. They add Anthony Jennings, and now Cam Jordan's in the fold. What's his role in this team?
He played 54% of his snaps last year. I think it'd be around that 50% of the snaps. That doesn't hurt to have a guy who's entering his 16th season to help some of the other guys learn and become pros and become better defensive ends. And I think with Cam Jordan on the field, it certainly helps Chase Young a little bit more. And Chase Young helped Cam Jordan, as you saw both of their sack numbers pile up last season. So I think that is going to translate really well in year two in Brandon Staley's defense. And you can't ask for anything more than that. And a guy who's, put up numbers, 7 double-digit sack seasons for the Black and Gold. So you throw in Carl, and you're hoping Carl has a much bigger season, a better season, and I think you're going to see that. I think you're going to see Chase Young put up another career season because of Cam Jordan coming back. I think that helps him out more than anyone on this team.
All right, let's talk about what you saw on the field, mandatory minicamp this week. Just a short stint here to get everybody together and get some work done. Sounds like on the offensive side of things, a good day for Oscar Delp today. What can you tell us about the rookie tight end from Georgia?
Yeah, I remember when he went down a couple weeks ago at the end of that practice, I told you, man, he looked like he tweaked a hamstring. He did tweak a hamstring, but he was back for the 2 practices this week actually participating. And, yeah, man, he looks good, man. I like the way – I know it's no pads and kind of just flying off the line and going against defenders, but still, man, the way he runs his routes and his ability to cut, he's quick, man. He's got quick hips, quick feet, and good hands. I can't wait to see what it looks like whenever he goes against, guys and pads and stuff, but I still think that potential is there. I keep telling you, he's probably the hidden gem of this draft class, and I think that Georgia didn't use his full potential at Georgia. I think you're going to see the Kellen Moore unlock that in this offense, and you saw small glimpses of it, man, but I just think he runs great routes and has great hands for a tight end. He's going to be a good tweener, man. He's just good tweener, man. I just like how he can play the slot. He can line up on the line. He can line up almost anywhere on that offense and make it productive. And I think that's, Kellen Moore is a big tight end guy, especially the big versatile tight end guys. And that's what you get to Oscar Delp.
How'd Tyler Shuck look?
I think, he was okay. I mean, he's some ups and downs. I mean, it's the typical type of stuff you'd see from a quarterback. There's some throws that were just completely missed, and there's some throws that he made and that weren't caught, but there are also some excellent throws. I mean, that's what you get in this minicamp. He's still trying to build that chemistry. Remember, there's a lot of new players, new faces that he's working with that he still is trying to get used to. I mean, you got Jalen Polk and the 3 guys you drafted in the draft. Jordan Tyson still has not practiced, which is another story to see that, they ramp him up even more for training camp, but he's still got to build that chemistry down and get it going with those guys that they just brought in.
Anything else that stood out to you? I'm kind of leave it open-ended because I'm reading Twitter, but anything that stood out from minicamp today?
It's good to see that Chris Olave is doing individual drills. I know that the blood clot situation ended his season. He didn't get a chance to play in that final 17th game. I know he desperately wanted to play in it, but it's good to see him out here, even though it's just doing the individual work. But man, think it's a lot of speed on this defense. That's one thing I've noticed, speed on the entire team. And you know that the NFL, today's game, it's all about how fast you are and how quick you go sideline to sideline. And I'm seeing a lot of that from everyone. I'm seeing a lot of people that are in really good shape from the defensive line, offensive line, and on back. I mean, you're getting guys who are quick, who are, going to make plays down the field. And I think that's something that they desperately needed to address, is getting speed on both sides of the ball. And it's there. It really is there, Hunt. I mean, just watching the speed is impressive.
Tell me about the running back rotation. Is it just a lot of HN, or they're rotating a lot of guys through?
It's a lot of HN. I mean, Alvin really didn't do much in these two minicamp practices. Did some individual drills, and then it was all pretty much HN and Estime, and Devin Neal's still not back. But you saw some of the other running backs. Ty Chandler take some snaps while the other guys are off the field. But it's mainly HN, Estime, and then Ty Chandler getting a good bulk of those reps, because Alvin and the rest of the guys aren't really doing team drills.
And you're not getting anything from Jordan Tyson at this point?
No, I mean, he was on the field, not doing individual stuff, just running with the team, and just he's not like dogging. He's good running. So he's just not doing the individual passings and that's with the receivers coach. So he's kind of simple, but he was out there at least practicing.
Okay. Anything from press conferences you've gathered to kind of put a bow on this thing?
Well, putting a bow on this offseason, they just gotta get on the same page. They've got to make sure that chemistry builds, and they got to make sure everyone is at some point in time this offseason, and make sure they go into training camp 100%. You don't want to deal with any uncertainty. So for the most part, I like what I saw from OTAs and minicamp. It wasn't anything crazy, but at least you're seeing strides in the right direction.
Kind of feels like, other than potential Kamara drama, which they're avoiding at this point, that they've kind of put that part to bed, and there will be certainly some things that are shaken up a little bit during training camp as a whole with the roster, but it feels like the bulk of the headlines are in the rear view. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. I'm still interested to see how that Kamara thing shakes out once they get into training camp, to see how he is. Because remember, with Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, completely different situation, how things really didn't play out well.
Yeah.
He wanted a contract, was kind of not being the leader they wanted him to be, and then boom, they traded him. I don't think Alvin's going to be that way. He has his contract. I don't think they're going to touch the contract. It make no sense to kick the can down the road. He just has 1 year left, and you don't have to push him. I just want to see if he's going to be the leader. And it looks like they're good with it right now. We'll see how it pushes on through training camp.
Sounds good. We appreciate it, Sharif. We'll talk next week.
All right, Hunt. See you next Tuesday.
Sharif Ishak, WDSU down in New Orleans, talking black and gold, looking for practice reports, practice observations, Cam Jordan thoughts, all there. LouisianaSports.net with our guy Ross Jackson. He's all over it, and you can read it for free there at LouisianaSports.net. My Saints content, Hunt on Saints. You can find that wherever you find your podcast, of course, on YouTube as well. We're uploading those daily, and appreciate y'all for subscribing and making that happen for us. We got to close things out. Take one more time out. It's the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Lifetime Roofing, LifetimeRoofingLA.com. That's LifetimeRoofingLA.com. They have core values in customer service, quality, and integrity. And the folks at Lifetime Roofing take pride in setting themselves apart from other companies and being involved in the community. And they do a lot of things in the community. One is roof giveaways. They do one for BCA awareness, one for military every single year. And they understand that oftentimes they are called into duty when there is a significant event in people's lives. You need a new roof. At times, that's a bit of a crisis. Huge weather event, something else. Like, they understand that. And they're here to help. You can trust Lifetime Roofing. It's a Baton Rouge-based company with Louisiana roots. They can help you from the North Shore all the way over to Lake Charles into the Houston area as well. If you're looking for a new roof, they got it. You want to finance that? 0% up to 18 months. And they're thrilled they can offer you a lifetime workmanship warranty. That includes the materials that are backed by Certainty, one of the oldest and most trusted names in building materials. Lifetime workmanship warranty. That's what you get from the folks at Lifetime Roofing. Check them out online at lifetimeroofingla.com.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last, because championships are built on commitment, not just on the floor or the court, but your home too.
Parish Construction and Roofing. ParishBuilt.com.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
My name is Mike Krumholt, and I've been with First American Bank for 4 years. What makes First American Bank special is we're able to offer all the products and services that any other big bank can offer. What sets us apart is being able to give that small town feel that someone can pick up the phone and they can talk to someone or stop by the branch and get excellent customer service.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools.
Make it 9 commitments for LSU in the month of June. Tigers added Virginia 4-star edge Chris Whitehead. Rivals ranks Whitehead the number 8 pass rusher in the country, number 53 player overall. I believe 24/7 has Whitehead as a 5-star recruit. This is another edge that LSU has added. There's been a lot of movement there, but the Tigers now have 2 elite edge players in this class. And LSU now ranks 9th in the country on Rivals because of this heater. KJ Green was the other edge rusher LSU's grabbed. Sterling Lucas has done a really, really good job of filling the shoes of Jaden Bryant, who obviously flipped to Miami. But you grab 2 top 10 edge rushers there. That's a pretty special deal. Obviously, Kevin Smith's done a great job grabbing 3 running backs in the last 10 days. Whitehead is getting the measurables on him here on his profile. 6'4", 230 from Chesterfield, Virginia. Had some significant offers from Ohio State, Penn State, South Carolina, Virginia Tech. Obviously, Virginia Tech with James Franklin, who was at Penn State, so that's the connection there. But you're talking about a guy who is the number 1 player in the state of Virginia, according to every single service, is at least a 4-star according to every single service, and is a really high-profile player. So Lane Kiffin continues to do a great job on the high school ranks, bringing players in. Got a class now that's ranked in the top 10, and there was a time there about 15 days ago where you're thinking, this is a really light class. You got 3 guys, and now all of a sudden you look up and LSU into the double digits and has a class in the top 10 with a lot of high-profile players. So great stuff there for LSU. I'm sure Matt will have more on it. We've got a story up at LouisianaSports.net. So that's 2 commitments today. Of course, you had the Commitment of the top running back in the state of Louisiana, now a 4-star edge rusher. So big day for the Tigers on the recruiting trail in high school. Before we play some Take It or Leave It, let me remind you about my friends over at First American Bank and Trust. You can find them at FABT.com, FABT.com. Started up in 1910, 116 years later, they've grown to 25 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana. If you're in South Louisiana and you're looking for a bank, looking for a commercial loan, looking for a personal loan, First American Bank and Trust. They can help you. It's a local bank. Their management averages 25 years with the bank. The people that are making decisions on your commercial loan or your personal loan are the people that you see in church on Sunday, or the people you see at the baseball field on Tuesday nights, or the people whose kids are in class with yours, people you see when you're out on the town. It's First American Bank and Trust, local for 116 years. Don't think that means small. They've got the assets that you need for that commercial loan, that personal loan. That's what comes with 25 locations throughout Southeast Louisiana. So if you're looking for a loan, looking for a bank, First American Bank and Trust, online at FABT.com. Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
All right, Hunt. So Cape Verde's 40-year-old goalkeeper Vozinha had a performance of a lifetime, putting up a clean sheet versus World Cup favorite Spain, holding them to 0 goals during the game. But after the game, he had 56,000 followers on Instagram. That shot up to 12.4 million in 24 hours because of the performance. So is this the true global stage? Take it or leave it.
Take it. I mean, that's you can
Crazy.
monetize 12 million followers. You can make some cash on that. There's no doubt about it. So good for him. 40 years old.
40.
Get out there. Make sure they don't hit it between the pipes. I'm in for it. Look, I didn't watch any of it. I don't know anything about Cape. I don't even know what continent that's on.
It's like a small country outside of Africa or something like that. That's small, very small.
Everybody's tying over. The Congo just tied somebody that's good. So it just is what
Portugal.
it is. Yeah, Portugal. I know what continent that's on. Yeah, both of them.
So, yeah, man, to go up from 56, I would assume his phone might have been one of the hottest items on the planet, just notifications. Ding, ding, ding.
Got to turn the notifications off at that point. But
Immediately.
hey, get in touch with some sponsors. 56 million, we can make that work.
Oh, yeah. So Texas Tech has taken a lot of criticism for the handling of Brendan Sorsby gambling case and his fight for eligibility. But the quarterback's agent came out today and said some of the heat that's going to Texas Tech needs to go towards Cincinnati, who were alerted of Sorsby gambling prior to the start of the 2025 season. So should Cincinnati be held accountable? Take it or leave it.
Leave it. This sounds like my 4-year-old tattletaling, and he tattletales
He did
a
it
lot.
too?
I got tattled on this morning
Oh,
by my
really?
4-year-old.
To your wife?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
so it
come
just
on,
happens all the time.
We're supposed to be a team.
Yeah, Dad wasn't saying prayers on the way to school.
Oh, come on.
I'm trying to listen to U.S. Open podcast. We didn't have time for the prayers on the way to school. It's my bad. But I don't need the 4-year-old tattling on me.
Nah.
And that's what we're getting from the attorney who's tattling on Cincinnati now. No tattling. Just stay in your own lane.
I can't believe that. Come on, man. We're supposed to be a team, man.
Look, we're not. He'll tattle on anybody anytime. Nobody's safe.
Nobody's safe. Okay. All right, so you go like this one. The king of fast food has officially been dethroned for the first time in more than a decade. Chick-fil-A is no longer the top-rated quick-service restaurant, according to the American Customer Service Satisfaction Index.
I know where this is going.
After an 11-year run, the results of 16,000 people voted. They knocked Chick-fil-A off, so the top spot goes to now Jersey Mike's.
Really?
For its command in freshness, food variety, and value. So Jersey Mike's over Chick-fil-A. Take it or leave it.
Take it. I'll take it. Here's the deal.
Okay, I'm listening.
Cassie's going to freak out. She might quit the show.
Leave it.
Chick-fil-A is fine, okay? The obsession that America has where you have to go through a 61-car line and 14 travel soccer teams to get a chicken sandwich, it's out of control. And I'm going to drive to the beach in 2 weeks, and I guarantee you
they'll be there.
We're going to be on I-10, and my wife will go, we got to go to Chick-fil-A. Why? There's 900 restaurants. Why don't we go to the gas station to get a slice of pizza and get back on the road? I'm trying to get to the beach, not sit behind the travel softball team forever and ever, amen. I know they're efficient. They got the iPads. The girl's really
outside,
nice. She takes the order. Great. There's 100 cars in the drive-through. I don't want to go through there. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't want to go there.
Cassie, feel free.
But Jersey Mike's isn't any better.
Jersey Mike's doesn't have 80 cars in the line. There's not even a line. You walk in there, there's like two people waiting for a sandwich.
You got curbside, you got pickup.
Just walk in there and get a sandwich.
Just get it. Go walk in. All right, so tell me this. Can we believe that Jersey Mike's is the one that knocked Chick-fil-A off, though?
I thought you were going to tell me Chipotle. Everybody's obsessed with Chipotle, too.
Okay, but now that it's number one, it's probably going to start having 100 cars.
It could.
Yeah.
And I haven't been to Jersey Mike's in a long time. But I think they have a great sandwich.
So that's it, man. 11 years of Chick-fil-A off the throne. Jersey Mike's the number one spot. So that's it for Take It or Leave It.
I do like, oh, no, we're coming home on Saturday. That means we're going to have to do it again.
Yeah.
At least when we come home on
Sunday,
Sunday, I'm
you
spared
had
the
option.
misery. I'm not built for it. Because now with the 1-year-old, we have to get out of the car. You can't do the drive-thru. You got to go change him. He can't eat in a car seat.
Legs.
So you got to go sit in there. There's a million people.
Yep.
I just don't want to deal with that. I'm for efficiency on the road. You pick something up, you go.
100%.
If it was up to me, we wouldn't even stop.
We wouldn't stop
But
just to get gas.
But we got kids,
and
so
just
we
keep
got to
going.
stop. It is what it is. My stop on the way to Shreveport, Memorial Day weekend, where I did not have my wife and it was just me, and Keller had a blowout in the Arby's, and I had it on my hands, and Myers was walking around the parking lot with headphones on. It was chaos. That's the life we live.
That's the life.
And Chick-fil-A does not provide any sort of ability to avoid the disasters. So I'm already dreading that part of the beach trip because I know we're going on the way in, on the way back. I would even rather go to Buc-ee's, which is chaos in its own.
Buc-ee's is overstimulating.
It is. It's a lot. But we'll see. That's it for us here on this Wednesday, brought to you by Renaissance Homes and Pools. They're online at builtbyrenaissance.com, builtbyrenaissance.com. A couple of LSU recruiting stories. LSU baseball added a relief pitcher as well. We talked 2 Saints segments, Cam Jordan and OTAs. You can catch all that on demand wherever you find your sound. Search Hunt Palmer Show, Hunt on LSU, and Hunt on Saints. Matt's going to drive you home next on After Further View. We're back tomorrow. Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com, HighlandIG.com. It is storm season. We're about to get the effects of this tropical system over the course of the next couple of days. That's just a warning of what is to potentially come. Make sure you are set up for storm season in terms of your commercial insurance program. If you're a business owner, if you are a CFO, if you're in charge of the insurance and you just know what you pay, but you're not certain what that policy says, you don't have to read it. Contact Jonathan Carbo and his team at the Highland Insurance Group. They'll read it. They've got experts over there that can make sure that there's not some stipulation in your policy. There's not an exclusion in there. There's not some sort of safeguard in there. There's not some sort of language that may compromise your coverage. Because the last thing you want to do is pay for insurance up front, have a storm blow through, and you don't have the proper business interruption limit. Your building is improperly evaluated. You're dealing with co-insurance penalties. Make sure that's not the case. The Highland Insurance Group will help you with that. Find them online at HighlandIG.com. It's the Highland Insurance Group, HighlandIG.com.
Eagle